So I've been thinking a lot about content in the maritime industry, and kind of the main thing I have realized by really digging deep into this is that the main issue with content and the main content that does not do well is this corporate standardized content that is not based on any personal experience and therefore does not have any actual substance, any actual content of a content. And to maybe explain this a little further, I actually um, realized this by reading a book that has nothing to do with the industry, but I read the book called Skin in the Game by Nicholas Taleb. And this book exactly talks about risk and actually being involved in what you do, being a natural correctional mechanism for what you do, meaning if you just start talking about whatever, but whatever you say has no actual risk or consequence for you, then you should not be able to put out those actual opinions because you are not actually vested in them. You do not actually have any foot in the game. You are not putting your neck out there for you to be proven wrong by something. So, in the maritime industry, in the same way, many people, including myself for a long time, really talked about stuff that we do not know to be true in content, meaning we talk about what sounds good, we talk about what we've heard other people talk about, but unless we've experienced and tried it ourselves and actually had some risk involved for ourselves, put our reputation on the line, it does not actually hold any truth. And there's this quote by the book that goes something along the lines of an experience devoid of risk is not an experience, meaning if you've not actually had any risk, if you've not had any actual skin in the game, the title of the book, you should not speak on the matter simply because you are just adding to this body of knowledge that is already diluted. Because fundamentally, right now in the world, there's no lack of information, not even in the maritime industry, which is very, very information scarce compared to other parts of the world or other industries, let's say. So it's not about actually putting out information, it's about putting out information that is true and holds true in the real world. And this is again where the book separates between what is actual knowledge that is true and what is actual knowledge that just sounds good and sounds true, maybe even sounds more true than the truth, but isn't the truth. So we want to, for our viewers, we want to be this filter in the world. We want to be this filter of truth, of actual truth, by practicing what we preach and only talking about things we've actually talked about ourselves and are actually done ourselves. And then we can start talking about them. So kind of my strategy for this moving forward to be very actionable out of this is if I do not actually have any experience behind what I'm saying, then I do not talk about it. And in the same way, funnily enough, the posts that work the best on LinkedIn, I think this is subconsciously by most viewers. If I post a picture with my post that relates directly to what I talked in the post, it directly makes me seem as a person, even if it's true or not, but it's definitely a very good signal. If I have myself with a picture of a post that directly relates to what I'm talking about, then it seems that I've experienced this, that I'm talking about something that I've experienced that I know about. If I just put out lots of text and then another image which is just text, which I used to do a lot, people just think, okay, this is just another blank template statement by God knows who. And this again just adds to the actual body of knowledge that is not verifiable, that is not actual good concrete advice, let's call it. And on this other side, we can actually have something where we put our own vested risk behind it, and through that we know that this is verifiable information because we've actually, there's again this quote from a book about if you have something you really hold to be true, then you would risk your life for it. Or said in a different way, the more you believe in something, the more you would be willing to risk for it. So if you would know something was 100% certain, then you could also risk, let's say, your life and the life of your loved ones even, to put this extreme example. That is possible when you truly believe something. If you just say whatever and you don't even know if it's true, then of course it's easy for you to do so if you don't have any actual risk behind it. And this is why this truth filter, or why this risk filter is so great, is that if we just talk about what we actually know, what we can actually verify, then we will only talk about things that we know are true. We will not put out some theories which we've heard from some second person, because we do not want to put our own ass on the line, to put it in that way. And our viewers know this, consciously or subconsciously. So if we only start talking about what we have actually experienced, what we've actually done, then people will believe us more. People will see us as this professional filter of what is true, instead of just what sounds true, or what is the generational or the general body of knowledge, let's call it. And this way, everyone benefits. So people will see you as more of an authority, and people will actually get true information, which has been proven by the world, which has been proven by implementing it, instead of just being some wild fancy theory. Because in the end, the actual stuff that works is the last litmus test, is the last great filter, and all of our theory is just a nice bonus. And all the theory requires some actual concrete stuff that works, but the concrete stuff that works does not require theory. So meaning, as long as something actually works, the theory behind it does not really matter, because as long as it works, you just keep on doing that. So yeah, the TLDR, the summary of this is only talk about stuff that you've actually done yourself. Only talk about stuff you would be willing to risk something for, because through that, you will automatically only talk about stuff you actually know is good. If you only talk about stuff that is actually good and you know is good, you will attract people who appreciate that. And those are the actual people you want to talk to, people you want to do business with. So I definitely think this is a great learning, and this has kind of been the biggest unlock in recent times. And that's not actually about finding the best theories and reading about this or that stuff, but it's about having the actual stuff you can verify and you would vouch for and you would be willing to put your neck on the line for.